So good afternoon and welcome to the Avenel Firehouse. On behalf of the Avenel Board of Fire Commissioners, I welcome you here today for the unveiling of an Eagle Scout project. That was a project of a 15-year-old Edison High School student that our fire department will benefit from. I will tell you, as Woodbridge Township's municipal clerk and a fire commissioner member here for more than 40 years, I've never seen us benefit from an Eagle Scout project. And I've seen many projects come through fruition, but never have I seen a project of this caliber. Great job to the Scout himself. So joining me today are the Board of Fire Commissioners President Dean Menente, Bruce Mizak, Vice President, and Fire Commissioners Keith Daddy and Greg Zock. To my left is Fire Official Corey Spiller, the young man of the hour, Mateo, and our Fire Chief James Bullhauer. I did want to also recognize the mayor. I believe he's on his way, so we will interrupt as he gets here. So let me give you a little background on this project anyway. So several months ago, firefighters from Avenel had approached the Avenel Board of Fire Commissioners and they wanted to discuss the purchasing of a firefighter's gear drying rack. So during that conversation, which was held at one of our public meetings, our attorney, Eric Lang, who's also the father of an Eagle Scout, was present. And Eric was involved in the conversation a little bit and asked if he could have some time to figure this out and see if an Eagle Scout would take up this project. And quite frankly, that's exactly what occurred. Eric went back and spoke to the Scoutmasters and those in charge, and the young man Mateo stepped up, and we greatly benefited from that. From there, conversation, Commissioner Mizak, who was in charge of equipment, worked with Eric Lang. They had discussions with the Scouts, and the project took off from there. Before we unveil the actual device that he built for us, I want to also recognize Corey Spiller, who along with some of the career firemen up here and career staff, went to their home in Edison. They transported this here yesterday with the assistance of Public Works, and they did a great job, because when you see it, you're going to realize it was probably delicate transporting it. The other reason why we also came here today, because as I like to put it in no particular order, was we wanted to formally accept the project. We wanted to acknowledge what Mateo has done for us. We wanted to begin using it, and more importantly, I think we wanted to free up garage space in Mateo's parents' house. So I did see the mayor just arrived, and I will tell you this, so Mayor McCormick just walked in with his Chief of Staff, Carolyn Ehrlich. For those of you who do not know, he's likely the most prominent Eagle Scout here in the township. So I knew this project was really important when I showed it to him, and he saw it, he was definitely thrilled. So as we move on, and once we unveil it, I will ask him to come up for a couple words. But without further ado, I do want to bring up our president of our Board of Fire Commissioners, Dean Menente, and our equipment chairman, Commissioner Mizak, and ask if they would work with Mateo and unveil his project at this time. We'll explain the piece once it's unveiled. As everybody probably realizes, it is an air dryer for the firefighters' gear. It'll take care of their coat, it'll take care of their boots, their gloves, it'll dry it out. And again, we'll ask Mateo also, he's going to describe the project in a little bit. This piece of equipment, if you were to go buy it from the Fire Services Equipment Company, albeit it probably would be in metal and not PVC, we've priced them for a 4-gear set unit, and they start at $5,000. So again, this is the PVC version. We believe he and his fellow Scouts did a phenomenal job on building this. So we're going to get into this a little bit more, but let's give them a round of applause for the work they did. You guys want to take a seat again, and we'll continue a little bit. And Mateo, no doubt everybody here will join me in being in awe of this project. Again, we thank you for taking this up. As I mentioned to you again, and Mr. Spiller was with us, and we said this to your parents, the cost really saved the taxpayers here in Fire District number 5 at least $5,000 if we were to get this in a particular metal. So we really appreciate that. So with that said, I'm going to ask the board president again, if he would just step up for a moment and make some comments. Dean Menente.
Thank you. Again, excellent job. And as John said, the cost for something like this out in the market is just astronomical. The great thing about gear cleaning is over the past 5 to 10 years, one of the big things that's really hitting the fire service is what we're finding out over long periods of career is cancer. What we're learning is a lot of the cancers that firefighters are developing is a correlation of not necessarily operating at the fire scene while we're wearing our SCBA, but once that mask comes off and we're still wearing the gear with all the byproducts of what we call incomplete combustion, and they're inhaling that, whether they're riding on the engine, operating outside the structure. So gear cleaning has really become very vital in almost washing our gear after any type of a call, whether it was a car fire, structure fire, obviously anything that would involve any type of hazardous materials. Unfortunately, we're just learning a lot about this now. When I started, like John started 40 years ago, we didn't have gear cleaning. You hosed it off. We just hung it outside and that was it. So this is going to get used because we do wash our gear now constantly. It's just another measure of protecting the fire service. So again, thank you, Troop 53. Thank you very much for stepping up and taking this. The other thing about the fire service, it's about community. When the doors aren't up and we're not rolling outside and we're not rolling somewhere, we want to be part of the community. And this is an excellent, excellent way to stay engaged with the community, is having you folks come up and do something like this for us. So again, on behalf of the board, chief, fire official, Councilman Spiller, the mayor, I want to thank you very much for undertaking this project.
Thank you. Vice President Mizak, who purchases all of our equipment, for a few words, please.
Good afternoon. As John said, I'm in charge of ordering all the equipment. We were looking into purchasing a similar item, and with all the shortage of supply and demand now, we couldn't get one purchased soon. And I was approached from another firefighter, which happens to be my son, who down in his old station in Baltimore had one of these, and he looked it up and found out it's an Eagle Scout project. And when we brought that to Eric, who was involved with the Scouts, he took the lead and got me involved with Mateo, and I am very proud of what he did. The job is just beyond what I expected, and I just want to say thank you to everybody, and we're going to put it to good use.
Thank you. Mayor, can I get you to have a few words? Again, as I indicated before, probably the most prominent Eagle Scout here in Woodbridge, so you're giving them some competition here, Mateo. Mayor John McCormick.
Thank you very much. So I've been involved with all the different troops. We have 523 in Colonia, we have 143 in Woodbridge, and we have 53 in Fords. I know a lot of the Scouts, I know all the leaders, I've seen everything. This is one of the coolest projects I've seen. And I go back in scouting to when I was 8 years old in 1966. And I go to all the Eagle Court of Honors, and I go to the projects, and I take pictures. I'm very, very active in the whole scouting movement, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts in Woodbridge Township. When John Mitch showed me this, I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in terms of how it matters to the fire companies. And you heard my buddy Dean here explain that, what it means to have your personal safety and protection. And I just think this is terrific. So Mateo, congratulations. I'll see all you guys coming up. Alex, you have your Eagle Scout Court of Honor soon, right? Alex's project was over in the new Boy Scout camp on Elmore Avenue in Avenel, not far from here. So I'll see you for that. Glad you made it, man, because I was going to hound you for the rest of your life if you did. His father is our town attorney and a really, really good guy. So I was watching you. So how many more barrel pages you need?
I'm done.
You're done? How old are you? You're 15 and you're done? Wow, that's serious. I get kids coming in for their project, and I says, you know, they got to have it done before they're 18 years old. I said, well, when do you turn 18? They'll say, oh, 3 months. And you're 15 and you're already done. That says a lot. So congratulations to Matteo. I probably met you along the way at meetings or events. But congratulations and thank you for what this means for Woodbridge Township, and in particular what it means to the Avenel Fire Department. Great job. Great creative project, and thank you. And thank you to the parents and the leaders and everybody else for making this happen.
Thank you very much. And Mayor just pointed out, so I want to recognize your parents, Tad and Rosemary, as well. When Corey and I went to your home, I had no idea. We never met before, and Tad and I ended up knowing each other. So it was great, and great that we got to this point. Before we bring up Matteo, though, Corey, I want to thank you as a fire official when you worked with some of the career guys yesterday to get this unit here as a fire official and also as a councilman. Care for a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, John. As you mentioned, just want to thank all the guys yesterday and today that helped set it up. We were a little nervous. When Mr. Mitch first told me that we're taking a ride, he told me I was looking at a hose rack. He didn't want me to know anything about this because I think he wanted to see the expression on my face. And when I walked into the garage, I was just dumbfounded. This is just absolutely amazing. As Board President Menendez said, things like this, you know, to be able to think outside the box is just incredible. Young man working with your fellow scouts, going to high school during your summer days to do that wonderful craftsmanship. But in closing, I just want to thank you for all the hard work, the parents and everybody involved. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to deviate for a quick moment before I call you up, and I'm going to ask our on-duty captain if you'd please come up. If you please take the gear that's right there, and can you hang it on one of the devices, along with the gloves and the boots, because we're going to have Matteo explaining. And then if you don't mind, Cap, standing by too, because we're going to ask you to turn the unit on as he's talking. Matteo, you might want to see if you can give him a hand real quick, and then I'll call you up. So as you can see, it's going to hold 4 coats. He also has the ancillary supply of air on the sides. Could be for gloves, could be for boots. Thank you, Cap. And at this time, Matteo Pittenger, I'm going to ask you to please come up, just describe briefly how this whole thing came about, and also remember to thank everybody who helped you along the way. Matteo Pittenger.
I would like to just thank everyone who helped it get here, whether it was the trucks from yesterday or like physically putting it together. It's made out of PVC, and it allows gloves, boots, and jackets to be dried with the blower fan in the corner. And then my favorite part of the project is the sign on the bottom, which really brought the whole thing together. But yeah, I want to just, it's really cool seeing it here, and I'm glad it all came together. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, as he was planning this and building it, he got the support of 3 local Home Depots, Lowe's, and also got the support of a company that he filed for a grant, and all responded favorably. So that also bodes well for the business community, much as they want to see, you know, an Eagle Scout attain that level. So right now, if you and the captain, if you could actually show him, you might be the first one to use it, how you turn that unit on. And again, I think this is just an awesome project. On behalf of the Avenel Board of Fire Commissioners, the Fire Department, we really thank you for doing this. And before we close, I'm going to call the chief up real quick. Matteo, if you can come back for just one moment.
Matteo, on behalf of the entire Avenel Fire Department, I would like to thank you for your fantastic job. Everybody's been out in the snow and had wet boots on or wet gloves. It's miserable. Imagine a coat that's bulky to begin with and several layers. So you should feel happy that what you created is definitely going to benefit the department, and I thank you. We don't typically give these out to the public. So as a sign of appreciation, I'd like to give you an Avenel Fire Department short sleeve shirt.
Thank you.
and a long sleeve shirt.
Thank you. Again, thank you everybody for coming and participating and everybody who was involved, and just wrap it all up. One more final hand for Mateo. Thank you. Outstanding job. Wonderful job. Thank you for coming.